The Oscars disqualified over 100 films for Best Picture this year for failing eligibility requirements. I am not an awards girl. I'll be honest with you. Like, sitting down and watching awards really isn't my thing. I tend to watch the highlights or in hearsay. I've only ever sat down and watched the Oscars from beginning to end with my college friends. We were all like into film. We were going for film. So we had like an Oscar night. It was the best time. And if we could do that every year, I would definitely do that every year. But as far as me sitting down solo to watching the Oscars and doing all that, that's not really me. I'm not really big into like just doing that. That's more, it's a group thing for me. I treat it like that. I would need to have a group. Unless you guys want to do like a group watch party, I'd be open to that. But anyway, so of the 323 films that are eligible for Oscar nominations this year, 116 of them have already been excluded from the Best Picture category. So let's see what they're saying here. Okay, so Ben Taylor's moving drama about the discovery of IVF, Joy, Anna Kendrick's directorial debut, Woman of the Hour, and the Barry Keoghan-led drama Bird all failed to meet the necessary criteria from the Academy to qualify. The official rule states feature films must open in a commercial motion picture theater in at least one of 6 U.S. metropolitan areas. So that's basically LA, the city of New York, the Bay Area, Chicago, Illinois, Miami, Florida, and Atlanta, Georgia, between January 1st of 2024 and December 31st of 2024, and complete a minimum qualifying run of 7 consecutive days in the same venue. And feature films must have a running time of more than 40 minutes. Additionally, several of the 116 disqualified movies failed to hit representation and inclusion standards, RAISE, a new diversity requirement enforced by the Academy. All right, so let's take a moment to unpack this. I watched Anna Kendrick's movie Woman of the Hour, which was a Netflix original. I'm assuming it's removed from the running because it never actually made it into theaters. And I do recall that one Oscar year where Netflix had, I forget the name of the movie, but they had a movie and they literally put it in the theaters for like a week just so it could qualify for the Oscars. Now, the representation and inclusion standards that are limiting other films, by now I feel like we've heard of them or familiar with them, where there's just a requirement of certain demographics or genders involved in crew or cast in order to qualify for the Oscars. There are some stories I'm not really sure how you'd be able to get that requirement in front of the camera, but I'm guessing that as long as they're in the crew, but they still qualify. The way that I feel about the representation and inclusion standards, I like the idea, the motivation for it, the reason for it, to give other directors, other talent a chance to be on the spotlight. However, I think the way they went about it ended up not moving the way they thought it should move. I feel like there should have been more emphasis on the judges, the ones who have to make the decisions to check everything out, versus making sure the films meet a criteria. Because there have been movies that were not nominated or considered because they were never even watched by the judges. And you heard it, 323 films qualify. That's a lot of films to watch in a year. And that's just the ones that qualify, not the ones that are just random ones out there that you watch and you realize, oh, this is not going to work for me. That's 323. There's 365 days in a year. So that's just a month or so shy of one movie a day. It's a lot to ask, but I think it's better than trying to enforce this. When you force something, people tend to buck against it. So I just don't know if it's been received well. And I feel like maybe there may have been a better way of going about it. Outside of what I just suggested, I'm not sure. I guess it's why I don't work there. I don't know. The Garfield movie and Sonic the Hedgehog 3 have both been excluded. People. And also Madam Web has also been excluded. I want to take a quick moment to ask you guys if you like the content that you're watching, if you could hit that notification bell, like, subscribe. I don't even think I said that in the right order. But if you want to hear more from me, go ahead and do that. And I'm trying to grow this community, be helpful. And for those of you who want to hear even more from me, go ahead and check out my Patreon, NXG Global Productions, where there's more perks, more benefits, more insight, more videos. I'm also a filmmaker and writer, so I divulge tips and all kind of fun things. And for those of you who are ready to get your screenwriting journey started, I'm going to be teaching an intro to screenwriting class online on March 1st. I'm going to put all details in the captions in the comments. We're going to be going over dialogue and characters, screenwriting format. It's going to be a good time. Plug over. I have seen Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I have not seen the Garfield movie. I have not seen Madam Web. The Garfield movie I was not interested in because, I grew up with Garfield, like the cartoons, all other stuff. And there was a live action version with Bill Murray and whatnot that it was okay. It was okay. Again, this is like a kid's movie. So I aged out, obviously. And then they went a whole different way with this one from what I hear, where it's like, oh, Garfield's trying to find his dad or something, which is not a bad thing. But Garfield has always been a lazy, fat cat who likes to eat. I think that's why I really resonated with him so much. Like, I was like, Garfield, you and I are here. And they kind of changed parts of his character for this modern version that I was just like, I'm good. I'll sit this one out. Not for me. And Madam Web, I wasn't that interested in it. And to begin with, I'm here for Spider-Man, to be honest with you. And I guess Venom sometimes. So I wasn't that interested in it. And then when everyone was talking about how bad it was, or, I was like, well, then I'll just get to it when I get to it. There's no rush for me to watch it. And the more time that passes, the more away from my mind that it becomes. So I just never watched it. But I don't see them being contenders for Best Picture. I'm not sure why they were excluded. It doesn't tell me why. But Sonic the Hedgehog 3 was fun. And Jim Carrey, he needs to always do them. I don't think I can watch a Sonic the Hedgehog movie without him. He really helps to just bring all that fun in. Now, to be fair, it's not all on exclusions of not, meeting requirements. It also says that the discrepancies between films that qualify and those have not is sometimes because the filmmakers did not attempt to qualify, like the case for several documentaries, animated or international films. I don't even know what filmmakers have to do to qualify. I'm guessing that involves a little bit of the green. I remember watching Adam Ruins Everything as this fun show that used to be on True TV. They changed the name of their channel so many times I can't remember now. And he had covered the Oscars and award shows and what that looks like and how you get nominated. And it's a lot of, you guessed it, smoozing and spending money and trying to put more favor on your film and sending free gifts to the judges, which I think you're not supposed to, but whatever. So I feel like knowing what it takes to get an award and the requirements, and I mean just money-wise, or connection-wise, I was just like, For a long time, I had, win an Oscar on my bucket list. Just something that I would love to do this, to be able to do this. Not for acting. As disclosed, I'm not an actor. For writing or directing. But now I just I just kind of want to be able to do the craft. I'm not really worried about awards, as if I was a serious contender. Funny. The 2025 Oscars will take place on March 2nd at the Dolby Theater at Ovation Hollywood. You know what? Let's take a look at the list of movies that didn't make the cut. the ones that were excluded. Let's see. What have we got? Have I seen any of these ones? Bad Boys, Ride or Die. Oh, that wasn't up for Best Picture nomination? Like, it wasn't trying to be in the running is what I mean. I'm trying to qualify. I mean, it was fun. Boy Kills World. Catching Fire, the story of Anita Pallenberg. Oh, I didn't even heard of. There's so many movies get released. How do you keep up? How do you keep up? The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. What? I'm gonna have to Google some of these. For real, for real. Let's see. Food Inc. 2. The Garfield movie. The Girl with the Needle. Girls Will Be Girls. Harold and the Purple Crayon. Did not see that one. Homegrown. Joy. Lost Legacy. Madam Web. Martha. Mean Girls. The musical? It has to be the musical movie that came out. Murderous. Sebastian, Separated. Smile 2. You know what? Let's talk about that. So, Smile 2, for all intents and purposes, was a very worthy sequel to the first one. They upped the ante. They really brought it home. Smile was already groundbreaking itself to me and an original idea. And then here comes the sequel, and it surpasses it like crazy. Is it because it's a horror movie? The Academy does not respect horror movies like they should. Horror movies are a well-done horror movie with social commentary can be really awesome. I don't understand why they hate horror so much. Is it because it's horror? They don't give it the respect that it deserves? I'm just saying. Moment of the hour, Waves. Okay. Alrighty. Well, are you guys going to watch the awards? Or are you going to check out the highlights like me? Let me know.